Hello, guys. Before this class, we studied about cell injury and difference between necrosis and apoptosis. While in this class, we are going to study about what are the causes of cell injury. So, there are basically two causes, that is genetic and that is acquired. So, simply, we can understand a person will get the disease before birth and after birth. Before birth it can get disease by genetically, and after birth it can get disease by acquired. In this way you can remember it. So before birth, by genetically, people can get various diseases. For example, this is just example, like Down syndrome and sickle cell anemia. It will cause the alteration in the chromosomes and it will cause gene mutation. What? Chromosomal alteration, somal alteration, and gene mutation. This kind of things happen and it will cause injury to our cells. So genetically, this kind of diseases happens, so it will cause injury to the cell. And if not genetically, then the cell can get injury, or cell can encounter the injury or stress through acquired problem, which can be oxygen deprivation, for any cause. If the body or the cell is not getting enough oxygen, then it will cause injury to the cell, because cell requires oxygen to survive. And next thing is physical agent, that is any kind of trauma, heat, cold. You can just basically imagine yourself what will cause you an injury. Oxygen deprivation can cause you an injury. Physical agent like trauma, heat, cold, radiation, shock, anything physical agent that will cause injury to you is another kind of type. And what is chemical agent? Chemical agent means any kind of chemicals which will harm you, like alcohol, narcotics, drugs, poisons, anything. Poisons, drugs, alcohol, anything, any chemical which will harm you and which will cause injury to your cells. Then microbial agent and drugs. Microbial agents like viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, whatever, those things. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This drugs comes here. And microbial agent, viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, whatever, if they are causing you some trouble, that will cause injury to the cells. What is immunologic reaction? Immunologic reaction means any kind of autoimmune disease. If you persist, autoimmune disease or hypersensitivity reactions, anaphylactic reaction. If you don't know about this, we are going to study in later episodes. So certain reaction, there are certain kind of reaction in our body that will also cause injury to our cells. Next thing is nutritional derangement. It means protein, calorie deficiency, whatever nutrition the cell require for the survival. If this thing is not enough for the cell, then it will also cause injury to the cells. And aging, of course, whatever cellular aging will obviously cause injury to the cell. And psychogenic disease is any kind of mental disease, acquired mental disease, like drug addiction or alcoholism or smoking, etc. That they can be a psychogenic disease. It will directly cause injury to the cell. And iatrogenic cause means it includes physician. For example, occurrence of some kind of disease or death because of the wrong judgment of physician or untoward effect of administered therapy. Those kind of iatrogenic causes, these are the causes which shouldn't be happen. These are unfortunate causes, also can cause injury to the cells. What is idiopathic cause? Idiopathic cause means it's those cause which are undetermined, which we don't know. undetermined. This kind of causes can also, we can tell extra causes which are undetermined. Exact etiology is not completely known, so this kind of causes comes up under idiopathic diseases. So this kind of diseases also cause injury to the cell. So at a glance we can know what will cause cell injury is by two methods: by genetically, by acquired. Either we are born with the disease or we will acquire the disease after we are born. So by genetically, there are certain diseases like, for example, Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia, which will cause injury to the cells. So next is by acquired. What the cell will acquire injury through these kind of things like oxygen deprivation, physical agent like trauma, heat, cold, or chemical agent and drugs like poison, drugs, alcohol, or microbial agent, for example virus, bacteria, fungi, immunologic reaction like autoimmune disease or hypersensitivity reaction. And nutritional derangement means whatever nutrition the cell require to survive, if it is not enough to be provided, then that will also cause injury to the cell. And aging, of course, itself caused injury to the cell. And psychogenic disease like drug addiction, alcoholism, smoking, all of those disease causing mental sickness also cause injury to the cell. Iatrogenic causes are those unfortunate causes, for example due to wrong judgment or due to wrong therapy or treatment to the cell, that will also cause injury to the cell. So idiopathic disease are all those diseases which are undetermined or unknown, or exact etiology which is not completely known. Those kind of disease can also cause cell injury. So these are the two kind of cell injury. Basically you can remember this as a person, you can just imagine yourself and you can just remember two types: by before you are born and after you are born. Before genetically, after by acquired. Before Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia, and after what are the things that will cause you injury: oxygen deprivation, physical agent, chemical agent, microbial agent, immunologic reaction, nutritional deprivement, aging, psychogenic disease, iatrogenic causes, idiopathic disease. These are the general causes of cell injury.